We started learning about airway and sleep apnea about 3 years ago in our office. And although we have treatments for adults that we can provide, we haven't had anything for children. I have lists of people I would love to do this with. My niece and my nephew.
My kiddos.
How old are they?
I have 16, 15, 14, 10, 8, and 6.
What I'm looking at with my children are grown, but I have a 29-year-old. It doesn't matter that I have a 3-year-old or he's a 29-year-old. I'm going to do what I can for my kid.
My 16-year-old, we've gone through a sleep study. We've had the tonsils removed, adenoids removed, and we've had complete relapse after 4 years of ortho. So learning about this type of therapy, getting her into a habit corrector now to see what that does, I'm excited to see what it does.
I think the more and more we've learned about airway, sleep apnea and stuff like that with adults, we start to recognize all these things at a much younger age in our children, in our younger patients. And we just haven't had anything to offer them because there's not a sleep appliance that we can technically put them in while they're growing. So this takes, and we see the ortho problems all the time, we see the tonsillar, the mouth breathing.
Teeth grinding, gag reflex.
Some of the behavior problems, we see all those things. And at this point, we've been referring a lot of these patients out to either see the orthodontist or talk with the ENTs, and we haven't had anything to directly involve them in our office with treatments that we could do for them.
I have a niece who ground her baby teeth to nothing, and her mandible stopped growing, so she had to go through 2 jaw surgeries and now is in ortho. And you know, had you known about this, then you would have an alternative that's much easier than going through all that.
I had no idea it had been around that long.
Right.
Absolutely no idea that the research and everything had been around that long.
I'm glad we have this now. I wished I'd known about this 10 years ago. You hear about unfortunate events, train accidents, bus accidents, things like that are related to sleep issues, and the parents are recognizing this, and we do know that there are some very significant hereditary components just based on anatomy. We look like our parents on the outside, we look like our parents on the inside. So if mom and dad have an airway problem, it's pretty likely that their kid probably has an airway problem too. There's probably not another thing in our office that is this comprehensive. From a orofacial standpoint, from a growth standpoint, from a total health standpoint, there's probably not anything that we have, and that can have such a big impact on a person's life for the rest of their years.
My 10-year-old just got diagnosed with ADHD and is now getting ready to go through learning disability testing here in the next week. I'm putting him in a habit corrector on Monday to see if I can't correct some of these ADHD issues that I'm having with him. The sooner I can get him in it, learning about what it's doing for ADHD, the better I'm gonna feel about it.
Absolutely. And the best time to do that is when they're little and they're growing.
Did you have orthodontics at all when you were a child or any of that stuff?
I did, but I never completed treatment because the only option for me at that point was drastic jaw surgery, and my mom wasn't willing to do it.
But had you had this at a young age,
It probably would have corrected it. My life would have been limitless, whether it was with athletics, whether it was, sleeping better, getting better grades, you just never know until, you start doing something like that. Yeah, do I wish I would have had this opportunity when I was a kid? Yeah, I do. So that's what I'm gonna bring to our practice to get our patients more involved. Like, hey, do this now, it's gonna save you drastically in the end. I've done kid ortho for the last 18 plus years. So to have a different option versus traditional braces or, rapid palate expanders to correct a habit, that was probably the biggest thing that I'm taking away, is that if they're having these issues as a kid, there's a habit there. So how do we correct that? And I'm super excited to see that these kids just wear this at night to correct a lot of this and alleviate so many more issues the older they get.
it's not just a game changer, it's a life changer. And that life changer multiplied exponentially through our patients and their families and contacts becomes a world changer, a community changer and a world changer. And that's pretty powerful stuff coming out of a dental office.
We're in a new time. We need to look into different things, different techniques, and why do band and brackets when you could do something non-invasive starting at a young age and get them where they want to be faster?
We have some amazing things here that can really benefit your children. Non-invasive, simple to do, and I think that you'll find the benefits are immeasurable over the course of their lives. And what parent doesn't want their child to just excel at everything they do? Books, sports, socially, self-esteem. I think we can really set or help set the foundation for that success.
Don't let your kid have a label. Point blank. If this allows their body to rest and heal naturally versus having a label put on them, why wouldn't you do it?